Naina, a lady living in 2018, has Tourette Syndrome, which renders her unable to control her tics and tremors. She decides to pursue her lifelong goal of working with children by applying for a position in a school. The principal is so taken by her extensive education that he plans to employ her right away after reading her resume. But then Naina begins to execute the bizarre motions. After then, the principal probes further, and he learns that she has a nervous ailment. After reconsidering, he gives her the paperwork once more and assures her that they will contact her at a later time. An instructor approaches Naina as she stands up to go, informs her that her condition makes it hard for her to get a job teaching, and then suggests she try her luck in another area. In response to his counsel, Naina assures him that she is determined to achieve her goal. Upon her return home, Naina remains resolute in her pursuit of knowledge and personal growth, with an unwavering emphasis on her ultimate goal: to enter the teaching profession. She aspires to get hired one day, so she goes to interviews every day. Each time, though, she is turned down. Following this, we witness Naina in her elementary school years, where she was a victim of severe bullying. The principal once requested to meet her mom. He said that Naina was meant to attend a special needs school and gave her the daughter's file. Her husband informed her mother that the principal was correct when she informed him at home. It also appears that he treated his daughter very badly. Naina, too, would stuff a plethora of handkerchiefs into her lips to muffle her gurgling sounds. We rejoin Naina and her family as they enjoy lunch in the present. In their conversation, her dad informs her that he got her a job at the bank. However, Naina declines and informs him that she is interested in working in a school. In his mocking tone, her father informs her that no school would hire her because of her disability. His comments irritate Naina, and she doesn't eat all of her dinner. Her brother eventually informs her that her former school's principal is contacting her. In response to him, Naina dashes over. After a teacher quit, they had to find a replacement, so she is taken aback when he informs her that she has been appointed to work with them at the school. As soon as she hears about the chance to pursue her ambition, Naina assures him she would be there tomorrow for the interview. Naina brings up the issue in a meeting with the principal the next day. Nearby educators, notably one named Wadia, are not pleased. The principal, however, is willing to nominate her because he thinks she is an ambitious individual. Plus, he has faith in her ability to have a positive impact on campus. Following this, the principal inquires as to her motivation for continuing her career in education despite her health issues. While they are in class, Naina tells him a tale from her childhood. Even the instructors joined in on the fun when it came to making fun of her. She was going to a school play one day. Still, everyone was staring at her as she continued to make eerie noises. The principal of her school approached her after the performance and invited her to join him on stage so they could have a private conversation. He persisted in inquiring about her illness so that the entire class would understand that she is helpless over it. And I assured her that starting today, everyone at school would treat her just like any other kid. Next, Naina reveals her lifelong dream: becoming a teacher and inspiring her students to follow in his footsteps. She is quite impressed by the principal here. His next stop is to show her around the various classrooms of the school. From what she can tell, the school is quite posh. With the exception of one class, every single student is the kid of a wealthy parent. You can call it 9F. All of the students there come from low-income backgrounds. Their regular school was closed, so they enrolled at this alternative. The government then decided to let them enroll here. Also, the principal has informed her that she is going to be in charge of this class. However, he cautions her against the pupils, saying that they lack morality and are too indolent. The task, nevertheless, gets Naina pumped up, and she assures him she can handle them. She then departs from him and visits the theater about which she had previously spoken. At the same time, some irresponsible students walk in. On top of that, they play cards and smoke cigarettes. Then it hits Naina: they are her class. Despite the unappealing way and appearance, Naina is cheerful and eager to begin to work. She steps foot in the classroom as her first lesson of the day approaches. However, the students pursue her without giving her a second thought. Naina starts to give them her introduction. The pupils, however, begin to make fun of her for her noises, so Naina explains Tourette Syndrome to them. She tells them she is powerless over the situation. Because they feel bad for her, the kids stop making fun of her. Unless, of course, she gets too comfortable in the chair and trips over it. And then they begin making fun of her once more. However, Naina attempts to make the most of the circumstance while simultaneously laughing. Eventually, a bright kid named Akshay gets into an argument with an Udish from 9F. His ball was severed by Udish and his friends. However, Wadia, Udish's instructor, shows up and whisks him away to the principal's office for disciplinary action. Naina then tries to gain their attention by saying something. However, her words hold absolutely no significance to them. They continue to play games and pull practical jokes instead. People are going to great lengths to bother her. They even put her phone number under her images and hang them in public places. They bring a package one day and stuff it with little balls and explosives. There will be a deafening boom as Naina walks into the classroom because this box bursts, also shattering the glass. The 9F kids are summoned to the principal's office to face punishment once he learns about the incident. In any case, Naina defends them by approaching the principal. She claims she was just doing a scientific experiment when she set off the explosion. Although the principal is aware of her deceit, she grants them forgiveness due to her defense of them, and then sends them back to their classroom. Afterwards, she has a conversation with the principal. Furthermore, he claims that the students are hopeless and that continuing to protect them is wrong. In her final plea, Naina begs them to let her show them how efficient they are and then replace them. However, the principal assures her that she has an opportunity for the remaining 4 months of the present semester. To Naina, it's a challenge, and she agrees. The kids sit up straight and show their gratitude for all she accomplished for them when she gets back to the classroom. Subsequently, Naina engages in conversation with them, assuring them that she wishes for a better future for them. Before telling them they will see her again tomorrow, she gathers her belongings. But if she shows up to class and can't locate them, she'll resign and tell the principal to ignore them. The following day, Naina shows up to class and discovers that no one is there. She starts to feel like she was wasting her time and gives up hope. Meanwhile, every single kid in Mr. Wadia's class pays close attention and contributes significantly. However, out of nowhere, Naina notices that all the pupils have banded together, which makes her delighted because it means she can begin the journey alongside them. After that, Naina resolves to experiment with various approaches with kids in the future in an effort to keep their attention on the lessons. In order to make the physics session more engaging, she even brings the class outside to play in the playground. The next step is the day when the students' parents will meet. Meanwhile, Naina is patiently waiting to speak with her students' families. Time has flown by, and yet no one has shown up for class, which surprises her. As she travels, Naina encounters Mr. Wadia. He mocks her for teaching the lessons in front of the whole class and suggests that she should go to their homes to really sink it in. Nor does Naina show any signs of anger. Instead, she considers his comments to be words of wisdom. A brilliant idea of hers is to visit the homes of her students and have conversations with their parents. However, Naina is taken aback by the places they call home upon her arrival. Even in their houses, some students do not have access to potable water. And to get water, people have to stand on the street. One by one, Naina pays a visit to each student's house, and she empathizes with their plight. The following day, Naina visits the school, gathers the pupils, and meets with them to discuss their future plans. However, they inform her that they do not receive any assistance from the school. This is due to the fact that they lack intelligence in all of the disciplines. But Naina shows them that they're mistaken. She claims that they all have special talents. Then she reassures them that showing concern is all that's really important. Her arguments have persuaded every single one of the class. Then she tells them to grab a piece of paper, not to mention making a note of their worst fears and despise. In an effort to uplift them, she also begins to write a paper about her anxieties with them. After that, they make a rocket shape out of the folded paper. Do the same, she instructs them. The next stop is the school's rooftop, where the rockets will be launched. Therefore, they should not be scared, Naina assures them, and going forward, they will not be obstructed by anything. They are ecstatic as Naina hugs them. Above and beyond that, they start to show more enthusiasm for their studies. In order to keep students engaged and excited about learning, Naina comes up with new ways to convey the lessons every day. However, Mr. Wadia experiences annoyance and jealousy upon observing that the students are genuinely beginning to transform. Udish and his classmates are out and about on a school day. A girl from Mr. Wadia's class crosses his path, and he appears to have feelings for her. She is from a wealthy background, yet she still wants to know him despite his simplicity. She extends an invitation for him to accompany her to their lab so he may observe the new project she and her coworkers are developing. She continues to fill them in on their project as they go, telling them that they are preparing it for a national competition. However, Her coworker Akshay continues to belittle them by claiming that they are incapable of comprehending what she says, until a girl from the 9th grade writes back to tell them they messed up on the assignment, gives them the rundown on how to fix the issue. The girl's statement is accurate, which surprises Akshay. In addition, the 9F students continue to be of great assistance to them as they work on their project. In the meantime, Mr. Wadia shows up, and he can't believe that the pupils from 9F are standing at his side. He uses foul language when addressing them, focusing on Adish, and taunts him often due to his occupation as a mechanic. As a result, the 9F kids depart, depressed about their place in the school. Adish and his friends spot Akshay the following day when they're studying in the library, so he continues to tease him till Akshay loses it, and they get into another fight. However, Adish is told by Naina to go back to class after she intervenes to prevent them from fighting. He becomes furious, though, and accuses her of being just like the other teachers, concerned just with the wealthiest children. As a result of her irritation at his comments, Naina becomes anxious and continues to perform the odd movements. He teases her, and she's about to strike back. However, she abruptly stops herself and departs in a state of profound sadness. The kids' hopes are dashed. Mr. Wadia informs her as he goes to talk with her. His comments don't bother her though. She explains to him that he has no business meddling with her students. Wadia meets with the principal and teachers the following day to go over the project they would be presenting at the competition. Since Akshay presented the project to them, they were quite pleased. However, all of a sudden, it has a malfunction and goes boom. This will remain a mystery until Mr. Wadia discovers the project component responsible for it. Plus, he figures out that Adish was planning to get even with him, therefore he knows who did all this. After that, he informs Naina that one of her students was responsible for the project's failure in Class 9F. He uses foul language with Adish but explains that Akshay was abusing Adish and therefore deserved it. Mr. Wadia threatens to have the principal dismiss him from school and warns him he will face punishment. At the same time, he pulls the other pupils to find out if anyone was involved in the incident. The whole class is standing by their friend, who they claim is associated with them, and they won't let him be alone in this. The principal then tells Naina that expulsion is their only choice after gathering the students outside his office. After that, he informs her that the project had been ongoing for 6 months. In her confusion, Naina apologizes to him and attempts to persuade him that expelling them would be devastating to their relationship and their future. She begs him to let them focus on the examinations. After they graduate, she says he can forget about them. After hearing her out, the principal assures her that he concurs, but only if they stop showing up to class and instead study at home. The principal gives them another chance, and Naina is compelled to agree. She expresses her gratitude. She then walks out to the classroom to reassure the kids that they will not be expelled and that they will be allowed to take the tests. However, they are unable to return to school and must instead study at home, and that she exerted maximum effort to acquire that. The pupils hold Adish responsible for all that transpired, so they hold him in high esteem. Sitting alone, Naina breaks down in tears and experiences overwhelming sadness. Adish approaches the group of kids sitting together and offers his apologies. After forgiving him, they resolve to make amends for their actions. They see Naina the following day while she sits in the restaurant. They even express their apologies to her. After that, they beg her to return and instruct them once more. Adish confides in her about the anxieties he documented on the paper, while also assuring her that no one else can aid him. His remarks move Naina, and she clings to his words. She continues by promising to assist them in passing the tests. From that point on, she has been meeting them at locations other than the school. After then, the lesson begins with some instruction and ends with an exhortation to perform well on the tests. Adish and his friend are sitting in Adish's studio one day before the exam. Their academic pursuits are intertwined. However, out of nowhere, their school's gatekeeper shows there and requests that he fix his wheel. When the gatekeeper hands Adish the test paper and tells him he can keep it hidden, Adish is taken aback. While everyone else is sitting and studying, Adish agrees and goes to see his pals. They are no longer required to study. He simply hands them the test paper. They become furious with him though, and warn him that he is wasting Naina's time and effort by cheating on the test. They all abandoned him, and they still won't even look at the test paper. The test is administered the next day at the designated school location. It comes as a shock to Adish though, because this exam is nothing like the practice test he obtained from the guardian. Until the allotted time has passed, every single student has been giving the exam their best, and then the instructor snatches the paper away from them. Following the test, they visit Naina to reassure her of their success. The exam results are displayed after some time has passed. After Udish and his friends check their results, they discover that everyone did well on the tests. Not only that, but one of them goes on to be named to the honor roll. They are glad they didn't let Naina down, so they keep celebrating. Eventually, Naina and Mr. Wadia make their way to the principal's office. They also let her know that several of her students cheated on the test. Also, the gatekeeper told them what questions to ask. That is the only reason they were successful. Naina, on the other hand, has complete faith in her students and is aware of their accomplishments. They confess to her that they stole the exam paper when she goes outside to inform them about it. However, they paid it no mind whatsoever. As a result, Naina expresses her confidence in them and believes them, and is aware that they did not engage in any form of exam cheating. Wadia returns to discover Class 9F vacant the following day. Then Akshay approaches to have a chat, but he's in a great mood, as well as when Mr. Wadia probes for the source of his joy. He accuses him of sending the gatekeeper with the fabricated questions so that the pupils would fail. Until he walks away, Mr. Wadia stays quiet because he doesn't know how to respond. At the same time, a conference is called by the principal to inform the school that 9F students were able to pass the test by cheating. Contrary to what the pupils may believe, Mr. Wadia publicly states that the truth is different. As a result, he resolves to shoulder the load instead of Akshay. According to him, it was he who sent the pupils the phony questions. He is also guilty about it. Next, he extends an invitation to Naina and her students, presenting them with the Medal of Excellence in their honor. After that, he assures Naina that she is an excellent educator and that she is absolutely correct. He then leaves after gathering his belongings. When Naina approaches him, she informs him that she understands he isn't responsible for what transpired. He is urged to remain enrolled in school. Additionally, she informs him that her students have moved on to a new project after destroying the old one. If he takes over as their project supervisor, she will be overjoyed. According to Mr. Wadia too, on the big day of the competition, their school emerged victorious. They also come out on top. From that day forward, the kids develop deep affection for one another and engage in cooperative play alongside their instructors. It's now 25 years later, and Naina is the principal of this very school. All of her students and teachers will say their goodbyes on the day she retires. Plus, Naina becomes a beloved administrator due to her ability to be an exceptional teacher. Thanks for watching.